When the police showed up, Karen immediately started waving her HOA badge like it was a federal ID. But Grandpa just brought out his phone and showed the officer the Ring camera footage. Karen unlocking our garage door without permission and parking the trucks herself. The officer turned to her and said flatly, "Ma'am, that's trespassing. Technically, it's unlawful entry." Her jaw nearly hit the floor. She tried to argue, but it was no use. The officer let her off with a warning and told her to remove the trucks immediately. She stormed away furious, heels clicking like gunshots on the driveway. By noon, the trucks were gone. But Grandpa and I both knew that was far from the end. Later that afternoon, every single resident got an official HOA email. "Emergency meeting tonight, neighborhood security breach." Classic Karen move. She was already trying to twist the story. Grandpa didn't even react when he read it. "She's spinning it," I said. "Trying to make you the bad guy." He just smirked. "Let her try. She picked the wrong veteran to mess with." That evening, the HOA clubhouse was packed tighter than I'd ever seen it. Karen stood at the front like a disgraced politician, flanked by her loyal board members. She started her speech with her usual dramatic flair. "I was merely storing my nephew's vehicles for 24 hours as a courtesy. But unfortunately, a certain resident took it upon himself to lock my property inside his garage and involve the police. It was a gross overreaction and a breach of community trust." Grandpa slowly raised his hand. "May I respond?" he asked. Karen's smile was tight, forced. "Briefly," she said. Grandpa stood, steady as a rock. "I have security footage showing you unlocking my garage and using it without permission," he said. "That's not a breakdown in trust. That's a violation of property rights. You used your HOA position to overstep." The room erupted with whispers. Then, one by one, neighbors began to speak up. Turns out, Grandpa wasn't the only one she'd pushed around. One neighbor said Karen fined her because her curtains were too bright. Another said Karen showed up unannounced to inspect their lawn. The list went on. Karen's smile cracked. Grandpa cleared his throat. "I propose a vote," he said. "Effective immediately, the board should review the conduct of the HOA president and limit her authority, especially regarding private property." The crowd murmured in agreement. Karen shouted, "This is a witch hunt!" But it was too late. The motion passed easily. For the first time in years, Karen had lost control. For 3 days after that, she went completely silent. No emails, no flyers, no fake fines. Grandpa just kept working in his garage, but he wasn't fooled. "She's plotting something," he muttered. And he was right. On the 4th day, 5 new envelopes showed up in our mailbox, all from the HOA, all dated after the meeting. Grandpa opened them one by one, reading each ridiculous violation aloud: improper lawn edging, excessive afternoon noise, a flagpole 2 feet too tall. With each one, his eyebrows rose a little higher. Finally, he just chuckled. "She's throwing spaghetti at the wall." "What are you going to do?" I asked. He smiled. "Give her exactly what she wants: attention and witnesses." He spent the next day filing formal appeals for every single violation and copied every HOA resident on each email. He even attached photos proving the claims were bogus. But that didn't stop her. That night, around 10, our camera pinged again. Karen was standing at the end of our driveway, in the dark, pacing and snapping pictures like some deranged private investigator. 20 minutes later, the police showed up at our door. We got a noise complaint, the officer said. The applause shook the walls. Karen rolled her eyes. "This isn't a popularity contest," she said. "No," Grandpa replied. "It's a trust contest." When the votes were counted, it wasn't even close. Grandpa won by a landslide. Karen stormed out before the results were officially announced. One of the board members handed Grandpa a binder labeled transition file, full of pending complaints and ignored cases Karen had swept under the rug. He flipped through it, nodded, and said, "Guess we've got some work to do." That night, we sat on the porch under the stars. Grandpa sipped his sweet tea while the crickets chirped. "Think she'll ever admit she was wrong?" I asked. He laughed. "Not a chance. But that's fine. The neighborhood's better off now. The trucks never returned. The fake citations disappeared. And in the corner of Grandpa's spotless garage hung a wooden sign he carved himself. Karen Free Zone.